Hey guys, I got some feedback today that the stuff about local extrema was pretty confusing, and looking at the slides I can understand why, so I just wanted to take you through that. A local extrema is basically all the hills and valleys that a polynomial has, and a valley we're going to call local minimum, and a hill is a local maximum. So if I just have this example polynomial graph, I see that it has a hill right here, because I've gone from increasing to decreasing, and that hill is called a local maximum point. And I notice that there is a valley or a dip or an area where it goes from decreasing to increasing, but this point right here is called a local minimum. And then I notice that it also has some more. So this right here is a local max. This point right here would be a local minimum. And then this point right here is a local maximum. And that's really all they are. It's just the hills and valleys. So then the next slide, I believe this was the graph, and says how many total relative extrema does this graph have? So really all we have to do for this is count them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 local extrema. And extrema just means these are the maxes and the mins, just all the extreme points, all the hills and valleys. So there's 5 hills and valleys, there's 5 maxes and mins. I notice that there's 1, 2, 3 mins and 1, 2 maximums. And then the next part says estimate the coordinates of each extrema and label them on the graph. And anytime I'm asked for coordinates, that means I need to provide an x and a y coordinate. So we're just going to do our best. We can't get perfect since we're just looking at a graph. But if I look at this first point, first I need the x. So if I fall on the x-axis, it goes 1, 2, 3, a little past. Oh, but I look at the scale. I see the scales. This is -2, which means this must be -1. So my scale is actually a half a unit. So I go -1. This would be -1.5. So maybe a little past -1.5. Maybe I'll call that -1.7. And then the y coordinate, I just want to follow the y-axis down. I notice this actually has a scale of 1. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4. And, oh, sorry about my dog if you can hear him. I noticed that the y coordinate is going to be just a little bit under -4, so maybe my estimate is -4.1. So that's how I would estimate the coordinates. So if I go to this local maximum point, I notice that I'm a little past -0.5, so maybe I'll call that -0.6. And the y coordinate is just a little above 1, so maybe we call that like 1.2. If you said 1.1 or 1.3, that would be fine. My next estimate, I would say, is 1 comma, I'm sorry, 0.5 comma, so 0.5. I notice it's like lined up with that first tick mark, comma, and then the y coordinate I see lines up with -1. Let's see, my relative maximum point comes after that. I would estimate that to be 1.7 comma 1.2. And then finally I've got let's see, this would be 2.5 right here, a little bit past 2.5. Let's call that 2.7. And then a little bit below -4, so let's call that -4.3. Somewhere around there. Okay, so just by looking at a graph we can estimate, but what if we want exact points? So that was like the last part of the slides that you had today. Sketch graphs of f of x and g of x, use your calculator to find the coordinates. So I'm going to model that for you right now. And Oh, I need, oh, which ROM is it? Sorry about this. Not that one. You know what? I'm going to use the calculator that's on Google Classroom. If I can find it. If I go to one of our classes, I put the online graphing calculator right on our Google Classroom. So if I go to y equals, let me minimize this window and get my drawing window back and get this window back. Shrink that, sorry about that. And if I go to y equals and type in my function, I notice it starts with a negative. Just make sure you're hitting the negative and not the minus. X to the third power plus 6x squared minus 9x. And I'm just going to hit graph to see how it looks. And that's a pretty good graph. So the procedure to find the relative maximums and minimums, we have to press second trace. And the first thing you notice is I can find minimum or maximum. So why don't I just pick minimum? And so I'm going to try to tell my calculator that I want to find this minimum point. I want to find the exact coordinates. And if you see on the bottom it says left bound, your calculator is saying tell me a point that's on the left side of the minimum. So as long as my blinker is to the left of this minimum, I'm going to hit enter and you'll see that line forms. And now my calculator is saying, well, tell me a right bound. So anywhere on the right side of that minimum point, press enter. And these two lines, these two arrows, your minimum should be in between those two lines. And now it's asking you for a guess. So I just go right close to the minimum, hit enter, and it's giving me a guess. Or it's telling me the coordinates right here. Here's my x coordinate, here's my y coordinate. So we're just going to go ahead and say that that is the point 1 comma negative 4. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to make a sketch of this graph. I've got a minimum point at like 1 negative 4. I've got a maximum point. It looks like it's right on the x-axis there, and then I'm just going to kind of try to capture that general shape of the graph. And it says round decimals to the nearest tenth if necessary. I don't think it's necessary for this one. This is just 1 comma negative 4. And then to find this maximum point, see how it goes, it's increasing and then it stops and then it starts decreasing. That's how I know it's a relative max. I'm just going to press second trace, go to that calculate menu, and I'm going to select maximum. Again, it's asking for a left bound. So I'm going to be on the left side of my maximum, hit enter. Now it's asking for a right bound. So I go to the right side of my maximum, hit enter, and now it says guess. So I'm going to go up to my maximum, close enough, hit enter, and see it says 2.999999. Let's just round that to 3. So the coordinates are going to be 3, comma 0. Okay, now for this next one, this larger polynomial rule, I'm press y equals, let me just put it in real quick. Negative x to the fourth plus 2x to the third. And notice I'm just writing over what I've currently typed plus 7x to the second power, right arrow, minus 8x minus 12. And this time when I hit graph, I notice that I've got two maximums, but I can tell there's going to be a minimum down here. I just can't see it. And I'm going to give you one strategy is if you push the zoom button, and if I hit zoom out, so I go to choice 3, I press enter, and now where it's blinking, I'm just going to press enter one time and it will zoom out. And I could work with this, but I notice it looks a little squished. So I'm not sure you've ever seen this before. If I press zoom, the first choice is zoom box. And if I hit enter, now imagine I just want to capture the graph. So imagine drawing a box around the part of the graph you want. So I'm going to move my cursor to where I want the corner of my box to be, and I'm going to press enter one time. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to go to the right, and you notice it draws a box. When I hit enter, what that's going to do is wherever I draw my box, it's going to snap that to be the full calculator screen. So I'm going to press enter, and you notice that where I drew that box, now that has become my calculator window. So I reset my window so I have just a better fit for it to take a look at this graph, and now I'm just going to find the max and min points. So I'll find this relative max first. I'll press second trace. I'll go down to maximum, or you can just press the number 4. Enter, left bound. So I'm just going to hold the right arrow until I'm on the left side, enter, right bound, go to the right side, enter, and then take a guess, enter. My relative max is at, I have to round this to the nearest tenth. So I see it's negative 1.5, but then after the 5 is a 6. That tells me to round this 5 up. Since this is a number, the 6 is 5 or higher, I'm going to round this 5 up to a 6. So my x-coordinate is negative 1.6, and my y-coordinate is 4. So first thing I'm going to do is just make a sketch of this graph. It looks like kind of the letter M. I'm just going to do my best here. Use this rainbow pen, because why not? Looks like it comes down, intersects around here, and then it kind of repeats that shape. So we said negative 1.6 comma 4. Got to switch to my space pen. And then really all I'm going to do is repeat the process. I'm going to find that relative min and relative max. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to say that that is part of your assignment for today. You can copy down these rules and these graphs. You can take some notes on how to find maxes and mins. Using your calculator, you can put that right in your learning journals, in your composition notebooks that you filled out on Monday. And you can actually finish this one up by finding the relative min and relative max. Thank you so much for trying these past few days. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And I really can't wait to get back to school. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and good luck. Continue to email me if you have any questions, and I will be sure to get back to you. All right. Have a great day.